Hello everybody, hello my dearies, how are you today? This is Pharmacist D. Today we'll be talking about staying safe in the sun. Spending time outside in the light is a great way to be physical active, reduce stress, and vitamin D productions. But it is crucial to protect ourselves and our loved ones from the harmful effects of the sun, mainly from getting sunburn, skin aging, and all sorts of sun damage. The sun is a powerful thing. First, never look directly at the sun, not even a total or partial eclipse.
Pharmacist D, is it because that summer is here? Da, 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 da. That's why you're doing safe sun?
It is important to remember that sun protection is not just a summer thing. It should be practiced all year round, so watch this clip in the summer as well as in the winter, spring, and autumn. So, our title is Let's Stay Safe in the Sun. Think of UV rays and not just the heat. Let's start with explaining what UV light is. UV is ultraviolet light. The name ultraviolet means beyond violet in the visible light spectrum, which is why it's not visible to the naked eye. It is a type of radiation and emits energy in the forms of waves. In a simpler term, and more related to our topic, it is a powerful form of energy that is released by the sun and artificially by sunbeds. The full spectrum of UV radiation commonly subdivides into UVA, UVB, and UVC. Don't you just love people who name things simply? Scientists of the future, don't forget people have to study whatever you find, so please don't be a verbal scientist. I mean, you made up this 45 letters word and had the dictionary editors write a definition that start with an artificial long word said to mean. Anyway, let's go back to our UVA, B, and C. I'm pharmacist D, so let's go backward with C. UVC is probably not as well known as UVA and UVB. UVC rays are the most harmful, but not to worry yet. They're mostly absorbed by our atmosphere, so they pose less risk. UVB rays, on the other hand, is the culprit of us getting sunburn and increase the risk of skin cancer and cellular damage. A good mnemonic is B for bone. But we also need this for vitamin D production. About 95% of UVB rays are absorbed by the ozone in our atmosphere, hence why it is important to look after our ozone layer. UVB rays is largely blocked by glass, so sitting indoors behind windows can protect us from getting less sunburn. Well, with UVC rays completely absorbed and only 5% of UVB rays reaches the Earth's surface, up to 95% of the UV radiation is UVA. UVA rays are like super rays that can penetrate through glass, through clouds, and deeply penetrates the skin. They are responsible for premature aging, wrinkles, scaggy skin, skin cancer, and hyperpigmentation. The mnemonic for A we could use A for aging. UVA rays also contribute towards sunburn, but far less than UVB rays. So the question of, if I sit inside behind windows, can it prevent us from getting less sunburn? Yes, it can block UVB, but it won't stop the UVA. Hence, you probably will still get sunburn if you sit behind that window without any sun protection. Tanning booths predominantly emit UVA rays, which can sometimes be even stronger than a midsummer day in the Mediterranean. So you might get a tan, but you also might look a bit more mature. We can't feel or see UV light unless you have special abilities like a bumblebee, or certain insects or birds, or have a rare condition like aphakia, which is the lack or loss of the eye lens or lenses. So relying on temperature or looking at the weather condition won't help us to determine the strength of UV rays. Even on a cool or cloudy day, the sun is still strong enough to cause damage. Clouds can block some UV rays, but over 90% can pass through clouds.
Generally, sunburn can occur when the UV index is 3 or higher.
UV index. UV index is a helpful tool that indicates the strength of the sun's UV rays. The higher the index, the greater the risk of sun damage and sunburn. In the UK, the sun's UV rays are the strongest between 11 am to 3 pm from March to October time. So sunburn doesn't happen abroad. Yes, it can happen even in the UK. And also during season other than summer. UV rays are also stronger at high altitudes, so if you're hiking on a hill or a mountain, or you live on a hill or a mountain, or you're flying, be extra cautious.
Let's look at this Cancer Research UK poster together.
When the UV index is 3 or above, it is essential to think about protecting our skin. You can check the UV index forecast on the Met Office website or other reliable sources. For example, if the forecast shows rain, thunder, and a UV index of 4, if I don't do any risk preventions and decide to go outside, I could potentially get wet, struck by lightning, and sunburn at the same time. But why would I be out? So we need to think of UV index separate from the weather. Whether it's sunny, cloudy, rainy, thunderstorms. Sounds a bit like Macbeth. When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? Definitely not on that day. Bear in mind the witch is probably all covered up. So let's look back at our chart. UV 1 to 2, low exposure. No sun protection needed. 3 to 5, moderate to high. Think about sun protection, especially 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 6 to 7, high exposure. Skin protection needed for most skin tone. And then 8 to 9 plus, sun protection needed for all skin tones. If you happen to be somewhere without the internet, you could use the shadow rule. The shadow rules only give you a guidance. And as we said, UV rays are present even during cloudy days. And on cloudy days, we might not see our shadow. But on a bright sunny day, you can use the shadow rule. So if your shadow is shorter than your height, that means the UV rays are strong. Or the sun is strong. So if I were 5'5", yes, hypothetically, I'm 5'5", and my shadow is 5 foot or under, then I better find somewhere shady. Or an unreliable way is to get yourself a pair of UV activated shoes. So just want to flash my changing color shoes. But it actually made me more aware of UV rays because the color change even on a cloudy day. And I wasn't thinking about sun protection until I saw my shoes. So, an unidentified snowman, once sung, probably get gorgeously tanned in summer. And I don't know whether this person, who and I'm gonna tell him, eventually did tell him. Did he tell you? Now, serious. First and foremost, Mr. O, it is essential to understand that there's no safe or healthy way to get a tan. Contrary to popular belief, a tan does not protect your skin from the sun's harmful effects. In the UK, melanoma, a more serious type of skin cancer, is the 5th most common cancer, and around 90% of cases can be prevented by staying safe in the sun and avoiding sunbeds. Getting sunburn increases the risk of cancer. Sunburn is basically skin damage, and there's no such thing as a healthy or safe tan. Well, maybe there is. I guess fake tan, body bronzer, or darker foundation? Because in fact, any tan or coloration on your skin from the sun is a sign of damage. You're basically getting cooked, and that is literal. Of course, I know that a tan gives that pretend youthful glow, just like cooked food could look nice too. But over time, sun damage can cause actinic solar keratosis, which is rough and scaly precancerous skin. Various eye conditions, photo-aging, change in skin texture, wrinkles, and age spots, among others. When you get sunburn, you might think, I only got a little bit red, peeling skin a little bit, it'll go away. Although the visible signs of sunburns are often short-lived, the long-term effects can be quite serious. Apart from what I've just mentioned, when the skin is damaged by UV radiation, your body will try and repair the damage, but over time, this damage builds up and could cause DNA to mutate, the cells to grow out of control, which is basically what cancer is. If you get sunburnt just once every 2 years, this itself can triple your risk of getting melanoma, and if you decide to get burnt once a year, or more than once a year, so it is very important to avoid sun damage. But what if hypothetically I've been out in the sun, I didn't check what the UV index was, or noticing my shadow was way shorter than I was, and it was raining, so I underestimated the sun's exposure, and it was a little bit too late, and I didn't avoid it, and I got sunburned. What happens now? So the NHS.UK suggests the following regarding sunburn. What does sunburn look like? Whether skin appears to be red, sore, warm, tender, and it could be itchy, normally the skin will start to flake and peel and usually heal within a week. Although this is often mild, I must stress it is important to try and avoid it. What can you do if You already got sunburn. There's no miracle cure for sunburn. It's all about time and patience. However, there are a few things that you can do to soothe your skin. The first tip may seem so obvious, it doesn't even need to be said, but get out of the sun as soon as possible. Number 2, cool your skin with a cool shower or bath, or apply a cool damp towel as a cold compress. Take care not to get too cold. Don't use ice or ice pack as they could further damage the skin. Drink water to cool down and avoid dehydration. Yes, watch my hydration for health. Number 4, apply some after sun or lotion like aloe vera. Remember, after sun does not replace avoiding sunburn. No magic potion has been invented yet to fully repair the damage that's done. Do not use petroleum jelly on sunburned skin, especially within the first 24 hours, as a thick layer of ointment traps heat. And try to avoid anything that has fragrant, color, alcohol in it, as the skin, as we said, is so much sensitive at the moment. Whatever you choose to put on, just gently put it on, okay? Gently. If needed, take painkillers or use a painkiller sunburn spray. Ask your pharmacist for one that suits you. Cover sunburnt skin from direct sunlight, including sunlight through the windows, until the skin has fully healed. But avoid tight-fitting clothes over sunburnt skin. Do not pop blisters. I repeat, don't do it. Blisters are like protecting barriers for the skin to heal underneath. Breaking blisters increase risk of infection. Also try not to scratch and peel the skin. Generously moisturize peeling skin. Go and see a pharmacist for the best treatment. The next sets of symptoms are more severe and should contact the GP or call the 111 service. So if a young child or baby has sunburn, as their skin is particularly fragile, or if there's a burn over a large area. One time there was a person who came and saw me and showed me this awful sunburn on his back, and it was like a giant blister. His friend apparently smothered him in oil while he was taking a nap under the sun. I don't know whether it was a brainless prank that gone wrong or his friend was a cannibal. Skin that's blistered or swollen, a high temperature or you feel hot and shivery, dizziness, muscle cramp, headache, or feeling sick or being sick. These could also be the symptoms of heat exhaustion. Other signs of heat exhaustion include tiredness, excessive sweating, and the skin become pale and clammy, or getting a heat rash. But a change in skin color can be difficult to see if on brown or black skin. Fast breathing or fast heartbeat, being very thirsty, weakness. Heat exhaustion is not usually serious if you can cool down within 30 minutes, but if it's turned into a heat stroke, then it is an emergency. So if you see anyone with heat exhaustion, try to move them to a cool place, remove all unnecessary clothing like jackets or socks, rehydrate them with water or rehydration drinks, cool their skin down with cool water spray or using a fan, cool packs wrapped in a cloth and put under the armpit or their neck. Stay with them until they're better. If they're feeling unwell after 30 minutes of resting in a cool place and drinking plenty of water, then call 999. Or their skin is hot but not sweating and might appear red. This can be harder to see on dark skin tone, a very high temperature, a fast heartbeat, fast breathing or shortness of breath, experiencing a fit or seizure or confused or loss of consciousness or not responsive. So avoid getting sunburn and let's protect ourselves, especially those of us with any of the following risk factors. Going to places where the UV index is 3 or above, or intentionally going to a place where the sun is intense. Babies and children, skin that burns easily, lighter skin and or fair and red hair, or light coloured eyes, blue or green, have moles or freckles, immunosuppressed, or use of particular drugs, a history of sunburn, a personal or family history of skin cancer. Even without other risk factor mentioned about those of us who spend a lot of time out in the sun, such as outdoor workers or engaging in outdoor activities and hobbies. So does that mean if I don't have those risk factors or if I have darker skin, I won't get sunburn? So people with naturally dark or brown skin are less likely to get sunburn because the skin contains melanin, which lowers the risk of skin cancer. But less likely doesn't mean don't, never, or will not. So anybody, regardless of skin tones, can get skin cancer. So please protect yourselves.
So does that mean if I'm a tanner man and my skin is darker, then my risk of skin cancer is lower?
No, did you not hear what I said earlier on? A tan color change in your skin is a sign of damage. Getting a tan will not protect your skin from sunburn or other skin damage. The slightly extra melanin in tan skin does not protect your skin from further damage. While I was composing this video, I came across this. Well, this is from 1988, such a long time ago, but many of these still stand. Let's have a look at it together, shall we? Are you dying to get a suntan? This is a poster for UK's Health Education Authority in 1988. At the first sight of the sun, the typical British holiday maker tend to throw caution to the wind.
Basically go mad when we see the sun.
What they don't realise is that they're in danger of getting skin cancer if they sunbathe for too long.
This is still true in 2023.
Skin cancer is now even more common than breast cancer in the UK. Unfortunately, it's still true. Breast cancer was one of the most frequent cancer back then, and still is today. Non-melanoma skin cancer, the common type of skin cancer, unfortunately has around 156,000 new cases per year compared to the roughly 55,900 of new cases of breast cancer. Happily, most skin cancer are curable. Malignant melanoma can be another matter. If neglected, it may spread through your body, causing secondary cancer, and can be fatal. If treated early, however, it is also curable.
Melanoma skin cancer is the 5th most common cancer in the UK.
Most at risk from the sun's ray are those with fair skin. Although people with darker complexions or whose skin tans easily should still take care. Babies and children should also be protected as their skin is particularly vulnerable. Fortunately, there are various measures you can take without putting a dampener on your holiday. How to protect your skin. For instance, before you venture out into the sun, apply a sun cream with a high sun protection factor, or SPF. The higher the number, generally the greater the protection. It is also important to reapply your sunscreen after swimming and at regular intervals while sunbathing. Too much sun can be dangerous. For your skin's sake, move about, see the sight, but above all, cover up when you feel yourself burning. You want to do this before you feel yourself burning. Equally, in the middle of the day when the sun is at its most aggressive, you should make as much use of the shade as you can. For further advice, visit your local pharmacist before settling off on holiday. Your skin will thank you for it. Protect yourself against skin cancer. Find your pharmacist to help you to protect your skin, and even if you're not going on holiday, especially if we're working outdoor. So 1988, more than 30 years ago, most of that still stands today. There aren't many changes. Actually, there is. Non-melanoma skin cancer since early 1990s. Incidence rates have increased by more than 2.5 times in the UK. 166%. How does that happen? I mean, we know the sun was dangerous 30 years ago. Check your skin frequently for any possible signs of skin cancer. Changes to look out for include new moles, growth or lumps, as well as moles, freckles, or patches of skin that changes in shape, size, or colour. And that's it for now today, my dearies. In part 2, we'll be talking about all sorts of different sun protection, sunglasses, sunscreen, SPF, and everything to reduce the risk of sun damage and skin cancer. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your families and friends. Let's spread the sun-safe vibes together. Oh, by the way, if you click that little bell icon, you'll be the first to know when part 2 drops. Until next time, stay awesome, stay UV conscious, and try not to get sunburned. Look after yourself. Take care. Bye-bye. And thank you for being my special guest, Mr. O. Hi, Samantha. I hope you're watching this. Bye, Samantha.